Now, if you haven't been following the whole story, here's the whole last 18 episodes summarised in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Go. Whenever I've been pottering around the suburbs in one of my old Porsche 928s, I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and said how rare it is to see one on the road anymore, what a lovely looking car it is, and they always wanted to get one because some family member had one, but they were afraid to because of the maintenance and repair costs, or something like that. Now that's true, it is hard keeping any 40-year-old car reliable and on the road, particularly a complicated European with a thirsty V8. But I think it'd be cool to have one as my daily driver, just like I did last century. So I went on the hunt to find an old clapped out one that I could restore, but as an electric 928, to which many people said, that's your first bad decision. And boy did I find one. This old banger was a non-runner that hadn't moved in 20 years and was really the worst for wear in every way. So I bought it. Second bad decision. So with the help of my trusty mechanic Matt...
Who are you?
I'm Matt.
We started pulling out all the stuff we didn't need, fixing up the bits we do, and thinking about electric motors and batteries. At first, I wanted to go down the popular path of fitting a powerful Tesla motor, but after I snapped up this cheap, small, crashed MG SUV at auction for the battery pack, I thought, hey, why not use the motor as well? Well, the obvious answer to that is that it's only got half the power of the original V8. So, third bad decision. Aha, says me. I reckon it's going to be okay. It's a small and light motor, and it's got the same torque as the Porsche motor, but right there where you need it, from the launch, not way up high. And with this setup, this car should be much lighter than any petrol Porsche 928, so it should go okay. What's more, when I was dicking around with the MG, I found that the more stuff I disconnected from it, the faster it seemed to go. Should be okay. And if I'm going to take all that stuff, why not take everything I can, including the electrical system and the computers that manage the whole car. Now I know it all seems a bit crazy, but that's where we are. In the last episode, Matt had fabricated some lovely engine mounts and we fitted the motor, only to find it wasn't quite in the right spot. Once on the ground, we saw the drive shaft angles were too aggressive and they were fouling the springs. The whole thing needs to move just a little bit forward and down. Only about 2 inches, 50 mil each way, but there's a cross member in the way. So Matt was a little bit disheartened. Nobody likes rework.
Cheers, thank you. Alright,
So what's your plan?
so we'll trim that out. Just cleaned up this edge, you know, we just sort of rough cut a lot of it. But our focus, we'll clean all this up later.
We're going to cut a little bit out of this.
Yep, so I've just followed, there's like a lip there, where two sort of seams meet. I've just followed that, and we'll clean it up.
Then make it strong again.
Make it strong again. Because I think when we mod this mount here, we move this forward roughly, we get this plate here to the edge, and this bolt will then be accessed through the gap that's made there.
Yep.
And we'll probably remake these and we'll drop them down a bit.
And if the springs themselves, talk to me about them, if they're too wide, we can fit narrower ones, right?
Yeah, we can put some like coilover type springs, so we got lots of room there, but to the shock. As much as I like to build things, you watch other people build things and it's exciting, but you know from building things that it never happens first go.
Yeah.
Oh, we put this, 10-cylinder car into a Corona or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't just fit in.
Yeah.
There is hours of unseen footage and...
Yeah, they put it in, they pull it out, they pull it in, pull it out. Yeah.
These guys aren't professional, they've got to remake their mounts, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We don't have a 3D scanner and we can't conceptualize and model everything. If we did, even then, we'd go, oh, this isn't quite right.
Yeah, we didn't think about this, yeah.
It's just sort of eyeball and,
It's all good. So long as you don't hurt yourself with all these nasty power tools. That's all I'm concerned about.
I'll hurt you in a minute, Stu.
Hey, how did you enjoy the ride in the Ioniq 5 the other day? The Ioniq 5N, wasn't it?
It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah. This car is going to go nothing like that.
Nothing I've been in, besides maybe a R35 GTR was fast, but this thing was just, there's no wind up to it like a traditional turbo car. It's wound up to start with. You're just opening the rubber band.
That car had 641 horsepower, This car is going to have maybe 200 horsepower. And I'm perfectly fine with that, so long as we've got decent torque off the line. Merge in the traffic.
That's it, yeah.
I got you banana bread as well.
Thank you. So, you know, we had this there.
Yep.
We can come lower and we come forward. We can still access this bolt.
Yep.
It's quick and easy, and we're not remaking much. So that looks pretty good, because we can't really go much further forward because the bulk of the box is almost going to hit the subframe down there.
Yeah.
You know, you could come a tiny bit more forward, but that's sort of getting to the limit.
That looks really good there for that side.
That looks good, and it's got heaps of room. And this one here.
This one.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's got.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah. So.
And what's more, we've brought the weight more closer to the centre of the car.
You're right, and look at the spring clearance there. It's probably 15 mil.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we've got heaps, and we've not lost too much ground clearance.
How about a little bit more relief up here?
Yeah, we
up
just
there?
need a bit more, which is okay. We got.
Yeah, just a little bit, and then you can reinforce it with a flat plate along there.
So that's good.
Beautiful.
We'll just mark that, and we'll go get some shafts out of the other car.
Okay, need to get these axles out. And it's not playing the game. We don't need this. We just need to get that out. The thread on that's already been buggered. There we go. And she's out. So one of the next steps will be, there's the battery with all its connectors. We've got to retain all that, keep that in fine condition. Unlike the CV joint ends, we're not using the outer here, but we are using the inner flange there. Okay, so for this side, this bar is going to be welded in here, and a plate's going to come down to our engine mount bolts 1, 2, 3. It's very close to the sway bar here. This is a sway bar. So you can see that's too tight. That's just going to rattle and sound no good. We retain the 2 bolts, but cut out the webbing in between them. Deep enough so you get a 5-10 mil clearance. This existing plate's fine, it's just moved a little bit further this way. Perfect. And the good news is that's brought the whole motor further towards the front of the car, which helps the weight distribution as well. We've got this massive space in here now. Perfect. Hopefully we'll have digital radio with the MG's entertainment system, so we won't need a radio antenna.
That's good.
Because, check this out. So here's the old radio antenna. How has he attached it? Bit of sticky tape. How do you like that?
That's it. That's all you need.
Is that all you need? Do you think that's going to stay? No. Mate, you always do it first go. Look at that. 3 perfectly sized holes.
Oh, just lucky.
Just random. You just did it by eye. Boom. Perfect.
Lucky. Bush, we'll just get some ears coming up to here. 40 and 60.
So you've
Put
got
the bar in last, and we'll tack it all and take the weight, so it'll be nice. And
Cool.
and then we can say 3 mounts done.
Yeah.
Motor in. I've told it which, that's an inside cut, and cut around the outside of that. So now it's going to go from my 0 point and cut the inside first. And then, so that's operation 2 goes from there. Then we'll start here, go around and finish there. Super, looks good.
Okay.
We'll tack it, and then we can actually take the strap off, and we'll support the bar and tack it so it's all dead level. And then we can be happy with our mounts.
These are Porsche 930 style hubs. So we need a female side flange there, drive flange, to some sort of axle.
Yep.
That we can then attach to these MG style hubs to go into the motor.
Yep.
Into the gearbox.
We just need to machine a little locating ring and just drill and tap and have enough meat to thread it, then weld them all together and go forward. Okay.
And this is how we do the alignment of the bars so that everything's perfect to the millimetre.
That's right.
Just by using your eyes, looking down the centre of the car.
Yep.
Little tap here.
Yep, tap here and there.
Little tap there.
That's right.
Bingo, bingo. Did I just wreck it?
Nah, it'd be perfect. 0. 0.4. Just got to come up a touch. You look at it from an eye point of view, you can't sort of tell.
It's flat.
So we might just go tap more and call it the day. 0.1, that's pretty good, isn't it?
0.1 of a degree. Fine. And it's not even touching the chassis up there, is it? No, that's all good. Just got to drill these holes now. You've done a fantastic job today.
Yep.
Really happy with that.
Just needs a bit of clean up, but
yeah, nice relief around here.
Yep, and we'll
tidy up.
Put a
Tool tacked
follow
in.
the contour for the shaft, even though it won't get close.
Yep.
But otherwise,
and this side's all perfect now. With your new, you redid that.
Yep.
Mate, this motor is not going anywhere. That's perfect.
I'll take the outers off from the shafts, and
see what we need.
We'll just sort of see our distances, because we're going to have to cut these and essentially give like a locating ring.
Same deal. So you've taken the weight there?
Yep. So we've got no weight. So this one will be quite short.
Yeah. 40 would be okay. They're different.
So we need to make sure that that stays on the driver's side. That one, I think.
Right, that's a completely different style of...
Yeah, so we'll probably machine back where the hollow is. You know, we can weld to this thin, but it's not concentric, it's grooved. So we'll sort of go back to our face and we'll build... We need a spacer, essentially, from the box to the shaft.
And normally you'd buy a really expensive stub axle to put on that. And they're available for all sorts of things, but they've got a spline on the inside. But we don't know what kind of spline that is. And we've already got these, haven't we?
We essentially just want to make this 6-bolt bolt to this tripod style joint, which it's not going to work. So what we do is, you could cut that, use the MG shaft and machine a sleeve so they slide in and weld them. I don't think it's very good.
No.
It's nice to keep this all stock, modify one part, not modify this, which is serviceable. It's got 2 different joints. So we'll take this, we'll work out our length. So we'll find out where this guy sort of sits in its midpoint. Like,
you've got plenty of play there. You've got
heaps of play. You know, so we'll find our happy sort of medium, and we'll work out distance from that face, just here, to essentially a fixed point here somewhere. Put this in, work out from that point to where it's going to be here.
Yep.
So then we go, we need to machine this, then that's fine, we've got this shorter. Then we need to replicate this bolt pattern, and...
Which is a standard Porsche 930 style pattern.
Yep, so we'll get something that diameter, similar to this solid bar. So we'll get this like here, and we'll machine it so this just slips in nicely. Just a little lip, goes in a few mil. And what we'll do is we'll make this thick enough for those threads. So that's 12mm of thread. So I have 12mm.
Yep.
So we'll take that from our length we've got to cut down.
Yep.
And on the inside here, we've got these 3 little lips here.
Yep.
We'll machine just a shoulder on there, which will replicate on the back of the flat plate. So the flat plate will then come in and it will locate perfect.
So it's concentric.
Concentric. And because it's flat, we can actually weld it all the way around.
It's better to have a big weld around the outside of a large diameter there than
Yes,
joining two shafts and putting a
definitely.
sleeve on and having the rotational torque on that weld there would be far more
huge, yeah.
than here. You're happy with your plan, aren't you?
Well, we'll get this guy, and because we have a lip, we literally take this, locates on our lip of our plate, and there's our guide for our drill holes. We mark them all, we tap them. But as you can see, this is perfect for that. We've still got room for a little lip, so we'll get some of that.
Would you rather have steel than alloy?
It's got to be steel.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll work perfect.
Now you might remember about a month ago we replaced virtually everything in the braking system except the brake master cylinder that didn't look too bad. So we just rebuilt it with the same seals and bled the system. And it promptly dumped 2 litres of brake fluid into the brake booster, which is not where it's meant to be. So I ordered a rather expensive seal kit from the States, which was shipped the very next day, and we're still waiting on it because typically it's been halfway around America. It's been to Texas and Chicago and Sacramento and Australia, and it's got as far as somewhere a few k's from here, and it's just stopped. 4 days to get across the world, and then it sits at the post office locally for a week or so.
That's right.
Anyway, hopefully that'll arrive soon.
I want roughly 120 round bar, but sometimes if they want me to buy this much, it could be $500. Which I only need 2 pieces that are about 20 mil thick.
Yep.
That's 110 mil.
But it's aluminium,
It's
and you need steel.
I need steel.
That motor is not going anywhere. That is solid as a bloody rock. And we've added rigidity because this structural member crossways, you've added a strong 2-inch bar up here.
Definitely.
Which actually adds 90.
So 37.5 plus 7. Axles next. Lathe work. Find the metal first. Find it.
I'll go shopping.
Go shopping. See what we can find. Some round big bar. They'll probably say, "Oh, you've got to buy 6 meters of that, sir." So we found 1 meter for $7.70.
Yeah.
But we just want this much.
Yeah.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I went and bought you some nice bits of steel.
That's it.
$80.
So
Porsche, MG,
make it come together.
a marriage made in heaven.
So that will work. There's a lot to come off. This will almost be a flat plate, but at the end of it, we'll still have enough. Lucky this doesn't fall through, so we can locate this, and it's just a sandwich plate. And we've worked out our length, so yeah.
Okay.
Just a few hours drilling, lathing, and then we'll end up with a welding. And
Perfect.
That'll be strong.
And guess what? Next minute,
Next minute.
what arrived from the United States of America. Hurrah! It's the rebuild kit for the master cylinder. Right here. And
Finally.
I've got something else to show you. Look over here. Ta-da! Everything labelled.
Time stuff.
How hard can it be? You're just going to take this and put it into that.
Has the OBD plug in this?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I guess once we get all our electrics on, we can
Put the low voltage on.
put the low voltage and join every earth together.
It's not as simple as it sounds.
Just there's so many of them everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Earth. So.
Daylight sensor.
Yep.
That determines whether the sun's shining or we're in a tunnel and adjusts the illumination on the dash accordingly.
Yeah.
We can still use that.
That's it. Yeah.
It'll work.
As I said, try and use everything. You know.
I mean,
Use whatever we can.
so everything from the sunroof to the radar detectors to the proximity sensors to the pedestrian alert module to horns to rear windscreen wiper and washers, all that stuff is all here. A lot of these things do need to go and be connected to their original modules, but we don't know what tiny parts we need and which ones we don't. So a lot of the things are completely unnecessary. You might say the front windscreen washers or the rear camera, for example. But the thing is, we don't know. You could easily plug everything in, turn the car on, try and start it, and it says, "I'm sorry, I can't start because these airbags aren't connected," or this particular sensor's not talking properly. And a lot will be revealed when we try and put 12 volts into it and just see what errors come up on the screen. The other problem with the Loom is, of course, the motor that was right at the front of the car is now right at the back of the car. But the air conditioning controls and the interface to the driver all needs to be in the same spot. So the loom will be the wrong length in places. So we will need to extend things, we'll need to shorten things and lengthen things. How do you like the mess I made?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's the future.
It's the future. I haven't cut anything.
Yep.
This is the entire loom out of the MG.
Yep.
This is just the bare loom, nothing connected to it. As you point out, we need an earth. We need a long ribbon cable with about 20 pickup points so that all the earth points can connect to it.
Yep.
We need to plug in every module that I've got into it, and then we can put 12 volts into it and see what happens on the dash.
Plug in everything we can and start removing stuff, you know. Oh, it still drives. We don't need that. Can we do drive, reverse? Things like, I'm sure there's lots of stuff and go, well, if we don't need that, you know, some things you can almost go, oh, that shouldn't need plugging in. Or just put a yellow cable tie around it and go, later on we can remove it.
No cutting.
Get it driving, you know what I mean? Get it driving and do some...
The question to me is, do we do it out of the car or do we try and do it in the car? And I'm suspecting a nice clean work area, a bit cleaner than this, and we do it out of the car because stuff that was in the front is now in the back, and like the motor's gone from the very front of the car to the very back of the car. But the driver's interface, all the stuff you need there for the controls for the driver and air conditioning and stereo and all that has to stay where it is. So the loom's going to be the wrong length.
I do it in the car because that's the final length.
Think so?
The contour of a body line will never be the same as a flat floor, you know.
In-car ICE, that's the in-car entertainment module, for example.
Yep.
This module, I left it connected. I don't even know what it is, what it does. But you're better off just leaving it there.
That's it. Even if we hide stuff and go, it needs to be somewhere. I don't know.
Oh.
We don't know. None of us know.
But when you said you'll remember where this goes, no, that's not true. I don't remember anything. If I don't write it down, it's gone. So okay, so that's coming up. But first, we've got to get these wheels turning.
Yep.
Yes, I can already tell you quite a lot happens in the next episode. So please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in a few days' time for episode 20.